guess I need someone to explain to me again. I've never quite understood why we wouldn't ask for the additional 6% match that the Affordable Care Act allows the CSCO, and I know that they may not approve it with a cap, but they might, so I guess why would we not at least ask to get the additional match with the caps?
It's a great question. I think largely the issue has been, how that is actually been implemented in other states. So looking at Texas as an example, where I think the states thought that they would have more flexibility in terms of saying, much to Melissa's point, if I assess you and it turns out that you need X, Y, and Z, then that's what we're going to provide you. I think unfortunate reality, when you look at the Texas example, CMS has taken a different perspective on that and said, well, but if the client says they also need this, you have to provide it to them. And so, I think it's part of that. There's the carrot in terms of get the incentive of the enhanced match rate, but it seems like there's a whole lot more strings that come with that, that at least in the Texas example and some other states as well, it ends up being a lot more expensive than what the state had originally projected.
Yeah, I understand it, but I guess, all they can do is say no if we ask for the additional 6% with the caps. So why would we not ask?
We can certainly ask. I think it's just the question of, from a resourcing perspective, when we look at kind of what makes sense as we sort of sequence out some of these different activities, does it make sense for us to get kind of the 1115 waiver up and running and then, come back and revisit kind of the funding issue, assuming if we can figure out how to get financing, like for example, for the wait list, and then maybe at that point to say, different administrations, different policies, does it make sense for Arkansas then to ask for that request? Because to your point, there's nothing wrong with us asking. I think it's just given kind of where some of the other states have been in their experiences, I think we have a pretty good sense of answer.
Yeah, and I'm obviously with the memorandum of understanding with long-term care for the $250 million and then the dental clinic, I hope in the Arkansas work savings, I certainly hope as the legislature we will support funding those additional waiver slots under some waiver because, we all are hearing from constituents how important that is.
Representative Gray, you recognize.
Thank you.